So, as I mentioned in my last segment, I went over to Port Huron this past Tuesday. Went over to pick up some things, an Amazon shipment that I'd had sent over there. And one of my concerns is, being a big coffee drinker and loving coffee, I wanted to be able to get a coffee over there. And this has constantly been a source of contention for me. I get over there. Over here, I don't mind a McDonald's coffee. For some reason, the coffee I get from McDonald's in the States, I don't know why, but I don't like it. But it's the same with Tim Hortons. Over there, I don't really like Tim Hortons coffee here, but over there, it seems like it's always burnt and gross. And I've gotten pickier and pickier with coffee. I'll be the first to admit that. At home here, I get some organic beans. Cameron's handcrafted organics I get from Costco at a really good price, like £2 for $12. It's amazing. I grind them fresh. I brew them in an AeroPress, something else I learned from Tim Ferriss. I got twigged to it from him, and I love it. I do the inverted AeroPress, so I can actually let it steep for about a minute, and then I flip it and press it. It's a beautiful cup of coffee. I've switched from originally drinking double when I first started coffee, and I didn't even really like the taste of it. I started it in college so I could stay up at night to study. That's actually why I started drinking coffee. I have a cup right here. So, needless to say, as I've gone, I'm not double now. I switched very soon thereafter. I dropped the sugar, and I was just like triple cream for years. I know a lot of cream, but I like the taste of it. It took me a few tries. I tried a couple times to teach myself to drink it black, and I finally have. For about 6 months now, I've been drinking black coffee, and I love it. So, anyways, I get over there to the States when I usually go over, and I just can't find a cup of coffee I like, especially Port Huron's a smaller border town. There's not huge amounts of choice. This time I was thinking ahead of time, and I thought, I like a Starbucks coffee. It's not the best, but I don't mind a Starbucks coffee. A Starbucks Americano is actually something I don't mind at all. It's just a nice coffee. So I looked it up, and sure enough, there is a Starbucks in Port Huron. So when I went over, just before I was coming back, after I'd done all my errands and running around, picked up my stuff, filled the tank with cheap gas over in the States, got myself a Starbucks Americano. And I was like, great. And I tasted it, and it was perfect. I've had Starbucks in Vegas and a few other states, and it's always been decent, so I figured it was going to be fine. So it's not just a Michigan thing why I don't like the McDonald's or the Tim Hortons coffee over in Port Huron, Michigan. In any case, I got my Americano, and I had that for the ride home. It was great. So I enjoyed that. Thank you, Port Huron Starbucks. In any case, it got me to thinking about business lessons from that, because I often try to apply that to business. Being somebody that's, I run a couple different small businesses, self-employed. I'm always trying to, where's the lesson in things? I'm a Seth Godin guy. I like to read what he says, Tim Ferriss, all that sort of stuff. So this made me think, the Americano was about $3, which is probably twice what a coffee is at Tim Hortons or McDonald's. But I would gladly pay that. I would have gladly paid at that point $5 because I didn't know anywhere else around there to get a decent coffee. And to have a good coffee, because I don't like the Tim Hortons and I don't like the McDonald's coffee over there. I got a great cup of coffee for $3. And I think the number one lesson there, which you can learn from Starbucks, is that if you offer a good product, people will not only come, but they will pay more. And that's true with a lot of things. If all else is equal, if I'm buying the same thing at different stores, then I price shop. But if I am satisfied that quality or build quality, taste, whatever, there's an element to it that is better. It is in some way definitely better. I'm willing to pay more for something. And I think most people, if not most people, a large segment of the population is the same that way. I think a lot of us, quality is important, and we're willing to pay for it. And I think too many people in business are in the race to the bottom. They are competing on price, and they're racing to the bottom of price. And then once you hit the bottom, where's there to go from there? Because you were competing on price, and you've got, if you're at the bottom, no longer there's nothing differentiating you. Differentiating, am I saying that right? Anyways, I was a professional photographer for many years, and that was always, an argument amongst fellow photographers is don't compete on price, because once you get to the bottom, what are you going to do then? Your price is already so low, and you've got nowhere else to get any advantage. If that was always that made you special or differentiated you from the competition was price. So, again, Starbucks. I went to Starbucks, paid more gladly for a decent cup of coffee because I didn't know where else to get one over in Port Huron. So, if that's something to think about, it got me thinking anyways, and I just thought I'd comment on that because, business lesson to take from Starbucks. Quality and a better product in some manner allows you to sell at a better price and not be racing to the bottom for price, Being a Walmart is not a good idea these days. It's hard to compete with Walmart, and it's hard to compete on price. So figure out another way to do it. Build a better product, charge a better price, make more money. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon.